Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Sev Talks Money session. I am really excited today. This is going to be a difference in my normal YouTube Sunday afternoon sessions. Typically, I have an agenda for personal finance things that I share, and then I do a chat and acknowledge those that are in the comment. But today is a special day because I am celebrating 1 year of being on YouTube and 52 weeks of consecutive live streaming. So today I am celebrating you, and I am celebrating you, and I am celebrating you, and you, and you, and you, and you. And I am celebrating me for my persistence in being here on YouTube for as long as I have, despite some days when I did not feel like coming on here. So there are about 4 things I want to share as I go through this Sunday afternoon session. The first thing I want to talk about is, why am I doing YouTube? What is the purpose of me doing YouTube? And you want to stick around because it's going to benefit you. The second thing I want to share is what's kept me going. And then I want to share what I learned from doing YouTube. And lastly, I want to answer any questions you have about YouTube and personal finance. So let me go to the chat. I see some things popping up here. Safari J, congratulations. I'm happy and proud to support you. Asian American Legal Focus is saying, hi, Dr. Seb, congratulations. And Margaret G. Smith is saying, congratulations. Asian American Legal Focus is saying, woo, singing and fireworks. And Brick Girls go stateside. Congratulations, Dr. Seb. It's a great achievement. Thank you so much, ladies. I really do appreciate it. And I know that I have some people that are possibly watching on Facebook. I would love it if you would join me on YouTube. And I'm going to share in a little bit when I talk about my YouTube journey, one of the reasons why it benefits me for you to join me on YouTube. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is, why am I doing this? Why am I taking time to be vulnerable on YouTube? The reason I'm doing this is because I have a passion for educating people on money. I have a passion on sharing with the people the keys to the financial kingdom, so to speak. There are games that we play. There is a game called the world of money. There is a game called the world of personal finance. If you don't know the rules, you cannot play the game. Or you'll play the game, but you'll lose because you don't know the rules. Rich people, you hear people talk about all the time, people don't pay taxes. Well, that's because they're using the rules that are in existence and they are using them to their benefit. So my job, my purpose for doing YouTube is to do just that, to share as much as I can the rules of the game of YouTube. And I mean, the rules of the game of personal finance and why it benefits us to know those rules, why it benefits us to know what to do when it comes to debt, when it comes to credit. Why is it that the millionaire does not use his money, her money, to fund their ventures? Why are we using our money? Why are we going into debt to fund our business ventures? We need to learn the rules of the game. And that's where I come in. That's where the other people that are on YouTube that are sharing personal finance, that's where they come in. They are trying to educate us. We are trying to educate so that you understand the rules of the game. And when you know the rules, you can play the rules and you can win. Okay? So that's my purpose for doing YouTube. Now, what's kept me going on YouTube as long as I have? I'm stubborn, okay? I'm stubborn. There are Sundays when I come on here and I have no support. Nobody shows up. But guess what? I have the same level of intensity, the same level of passion, just as if 100 people showed up, because I'm not doing it for the crowd. I'm not doing it for the accolades. I'm doing it because I am passionate about sharing personal finance. That's the reason why I'm here on Sunday afternoon. Now, I'm going to be taking a month's break away from YouTube, from doing the lives. I'm going to still share content, but they're going to be pre-recorded. I'm going to be taking some time away from YouTube, but that's because I need to really relax and I really need to get back my creative juices because I'm a little bit burned out, okay? Because I have a lot of things going on. And I also want to study for my personal accredited financial counselor certification that's going to help me to even do better, help you more on YouTube. Okay. Now, Listen, when I started doing YouTube, I had a 7-year-old computer, and I actually have a video somewhere on Facebook. You can find it somewhere where I showed you my computer. If you put my computer to stand up, it would fall over because it was broken. But guess what? I still did YouTube on that because I had a reason, I had a purpose. I want to help my people to understand personal finance. I want to help us understand because I've shared my story before, and I'll just share it here in briefly. I got divorced in my 50s, okay? And I had to rebuild my net worth from a negative back to now I'm in a 6-figure net worth. And the reason I was able to do that is because of learning about personal finance. I have been teaching personal finance for over 20 years, but I really got passionate about it. It was more my head was in personal finance. I knew the basics. I knew the structure of personal finance. I knew all the semantics of it, and I taught it from my head. But once I went through my divorce, I'm not going to say my divorce, I'm not claiming that. Once I went through the divorce and had to really apply those principles to rebuild my finances, that's when I really got passionate about personal finance. So I want to convey that passion to you. Personal finance is not sexy. Listen, if I were doing a gossip channel, if I were talking about Hollywood and all those things, I would have hundreds, if not hundreds of thousands of followers, okay? As it is, I don't have a lot of followers, and that's okay, because the people I want to attract are people who are serious about building their financial journey and who want to work with me, who want to journey with me to learn the rules of the game so that you can win at personal finance. So this is not a sexy topic, and I know that, and I'm not going to grow as fast as some other channel. That's fine, because I'm not here to entertain. I'm here to help you grow. I'm here to educate. Okay, all right. So again, as I was sharing, I started with a 7-year-old computer and my computer camera. That's all I used to do YouTube. So a lot of people, YouTube gurus, will tell you you need all these equipment and you need all these things. Listen, start with where you are. That's what I learned from doing YouTube. Start with where you are. If all you have is a phone, you have all that you need. If all you have is a computer, you have all you need to start. And as you go into this YouTube journey and you start making money from it, then you can upgrade your equipment. But for now, just start with what you have. You know, the Bible talks about Moses, and God asked him, "What do you have?" He said, "All I have is a staff." He said, "Use it. Throw it down. Throw it down." Okay, so you're going to use what you have. And he had Aaron to help him. You're going to have some YouTube people who can help you. One of my favorites is Heather Just Create, or Heather Ramirez. She has 2 channels. You can go check her out. And even with this thumbnail, if you look at the thumbnail for this video, you'll see with this white outline, I learned that from her. So there are things that you can learn from just watching YouTube gurus like Heather, like, her name just went out right out of my head, on her Facebook group, and I can't think of her name right now. Project Boss Girl, or Project Girl Boss. She's another one that helped me, Annie Dubé. So there are things that you can do if this is what you desire to do, whatever your passion is. There are people who are going to need what you have. And you might think it's nothing. Listen, there are a lot of big boys in personal finance on YouTube. There are a lot of big girls. But I have something to say, and there are people who are going to be attracted to my style. So I am going to share what I can where I am. Okay? All right. So this is one of the things I learned from doing YouTube. Now, for those of you who are watching me again on Facebook, let me share the YouTube link, because I want you to go follow me on YouTube. And the reason I want you to follow me on YouTube is because YouTube is the second largest search engine. Let me say that again. YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google. So when I post my content on YouTube, people are searching on YouTube for that information. So when you follow me on YouTube, when you subscribe to the channel, YouTube sees engagement on the channel, and YouTube pushes that out even further, because YouTube's main purpose is to keep people on the platform so that they can promote their ads and get paid. That's it. YouTube wants to keep people on the platform so that people can watch your content, and in the meantime, the sponsors will see that more people are on YouTube. They're watching this content, and YouTube can get paid for the ads, and the creators can get paid a little bit of the ads too. Okay, now the only way you get some of the ad is if you have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. So that's where you come in. Okay, if you subscribe to me, you can help me grow to that 1,000 subscribers, and you can help me get the watch time. So I'm going to share my YouTube link right now, and I'm also going to share StreamYard, because if somebody wants to jump on the, here's a YouTube link that I just shared. If you want to click on that, you can watch this same thing over on YouTube right now, because I'm sharing it to my Facebook profile. I'm sharing this to my Facebook page, and I'm also sharing it to YouTube. So if you watch me on YouTube, you're helping a sister out, okay? All right. So I'm going to also share the StreamYard link for anybody who wants to join me on stage right now. And if you want to share, if this has benefited you in some way, you can click on that StreamYard link, and it's doing it in all three places. Okay, you can click on that link and you can join me here on the stage, and you can tell me how this content is benefiting you. If there's anything you want me to answer, you can post it in the chat too if you don't want to come on stage with me, but I'd love for you to do that. You can share if there's anything you want me to answer. If there is something you want to say to me about celebrating a year, I don't mind. You come telling me how you like what I'm doing. So if you want to do any of that, the links are there. The StreamYard links are there. You can click on that, and I can bring you up. And again, the YouTube link is there for you to come on YouTube. All right. So there's some questions that actually came in prior to me. There's some questions that came in prior to me starting, and I want to go ahead and get started with that. So again, why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I want you to know the rules of the game. There's a game being played called personal finance. There's a money game being played. If you don't know the rules, you are going to fail. If the quarterback is throwing the ball and everybody's supposed to go left and you go right, what happens? You're out of the game, okay? You're going to mess up the rules. You're going to mess up the game. And it's the same with money. If you don't know the money rules, you can't win. Okay, what's kept me going as long as I have? Because I have a passion for this. I want to educate, especially women over 40 who are where I was, who need to rebuild their finances, who need to understand money because maybe their spouse handled money. Women live longer than men. It is a known fact. Studies have shown women typically live longer than men. And after a divorce, a woman is the one who typically takes care of the home, takes care of the kids. And usually the man is the one that handles the money in a marriage. And if you don't understand money and you don't understand how to maneuver in this world of money, then you are going to be frustrated. You're going to make decisions with your emotions rather than with your head and knowing the financial rules. You're going to make decisions that's going to jeopardize not only your money, not only your future, but your kids' future. And so I want to be the one to help educate you to understand the rules of money. And so again, and I shared again some of the things I learned from doing YouTube, and now I want to answer your personal finance questions. So if you have any, please drop them in the chat, and I will go ahead and answer your questions, general questions. If you have specific questions about your personal finance, anything related to your personal finance, then you can go on my website, which is sebtalksmoney.com. You go to that website, you can make an appointment with me, and we can go over your personal finance, and I can help you see, the picture clearly. Now, as a counselor, as a coach, my job is not to tell you what to do. My job is to give you all the options. As I shared before when I was live on IG on Friday, what the coach does is he gives the players all the plays. The coach tells the players the rules. When the quarterback goes into the game with the players, the coach is not there. And that I'm not going to be there when you walk into the grocery store. I'm not going to be there when you walk into, the department store. I'm not going to be there. When you walk into buy the car, buy the house, I'm not going to be there. But I would have already given you the rules of the game and what you need to do. And that's my job as the coach, to give you that. So when you get into the game, the quarterback usually has more than one play, depending on what the situation looks like. He has more than one play, and he pulls out the appropriate one based on the landscape, right? And so that's my job as a coach. I'm going to have the plays. I am going to give you the plays. I'm going to help you to understand your personal finance so that when it's time for you to make a decision about buying a house, you can know this is not going to serve me right now. Yes, I want to buy a house, but I'm not quite there yet. These are the things that I need to do first before I buy a house. So that's my job as a personal finance coach. If you are wanting to work with me, you can go to sebtalksmoney.com. You can find where the tab that says work with me, set up an appointment, and we can work together. Okay, so I saw some other people that came in, and I want to acknowledge you. Greta, congratulations, Severin, happy anniversary, blessings. Thank you so much. And then Amsab Kitchen came in. Congratulations, Dr. Seb. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys taking your time to come here. Listen, I don't take this for granted that you come here. There's some of you that come here every Sunday afternoon. There's some of you most of the time, even if you don't come on Sunday afternoon, you watch the video afterward. Believe me, I so appreciate you because you don't have to do this. And I really, really appreciate the fact that you take time out of your schedule to come watch me and see the things that I'm sharing. And here are a couple of other people that came in that I want to acknowledge. Manos, he's actually in Greece right now. Thank you, Manos, for joining us. He said, hey, Dr. Seb, congrats on one full year of YouTube. Way to go. And then Dr. Nordia Aldridge also joining and giving me a little clap. So I really, really appreciate it. I don't take it for granted that you guys take the time to watch this because there are hundreds of people that are here on YouTube that are sharing personal finance content. And maybe my flavor matches your flavor. And maybe that's why you watch me, because there are different people who share in different ways. And even me, I don't watch all YouTube channels. I mostly subscribe to women because I support women and I want to see women thrive. And so I mostly support women YouTubers. No shade to men. I do support a few of them, but my thing is I want to support women in whatever endeavor they're doing. So I try to push that as much as I can. All right, so a couple of questions that came in, personal finance questions that came in. Somebody asked, somebody is just starting out, very young, they just got a job. What are some things that they should be looking at? And one of the first things I would want to say to you is, what is your goal? You got a job. What do you want to do with your life? What do you want to achieve financially? What do you want to achieve? Because just about everything impacts our finances. Even decisions that we make that does not involve money comes back around to money. So every time you think about the decision that you're making, think about the long-term effect of that decision on you. There are things I wish I knew earlier, but you know what? I'm learning now, and I'm not going to beat myself up. So one of the first things you want to do if you're just starting out and you're getting a job, you want to decide what it is that you want to accomplish. Before you run out and buy a car, before you run out and buy a house, even if you can afford it or you think you can afford it, think about what it is that you want to achieve. Society says in your 20s, you're supposed to graduate from college and have a job. You're supposed to leave high school. You're supposed to go to college. You're supposed to go get a job. And you're supposed to, at what, 30, 29 and a half, 30, you're supposed to have 2.5 kids. You're supposed to be married. In your 40s, you're supposed to be in the C-suite in your job. These are society's expectations. They don't have to be yours. In fact, I encourage you not to make them yours, because what you're going to do is you are stressing yourself, trying to fit into this mold that society says you need to fit in. So my advice to you is to say, as a young person that is just starting your job, my advice to you is determine what it is you want. Based on what it is you want, write it out. Write the vision, make it plain, write it out. And after you've written it out, Then you break that up into bite-sized SMART goals. Once you do that, then you will understand what decisions to make going forward. So if your goal is to purchase a house, then maybe you have student loans. And even though you may be making six figures, the student loans may constrain how much house you can buy. Because then, let me back up. Mortgage companies or whoever, when they look at how much you qualify for, they are not looking at all the things, all of your debt that you know about that's not showing up on the credit report. The things that you know about that's not showing up in the public domain of your personal finance. So when they approve you for a loan, they may be approving you for $5,000 per month. But if you look at your budget, the B word, if they look at it, if you look at it, you know you can only afford $2,000. So again, you should not be buying a house based on what they approve you for. You should already know how much you can afford before you talk to them about the house. So if your goal is to buy a house, you want to lay out all your numbers, and that's something I can help you with as a financial coach. And I can help you lay out your numbers so you can see what you can really, really afford. And based on that, you can go in and you can get pre-qualified for a loan for a mortgage. Don't ever shop for a house before you know what you can afford. And don't let the mortgage company or anybody else tell you what you can afford. So that's the advice I would give the young person. I would also say to that young person, I'm a big advocate of a Roth IRA for somebody who is in a lower income bracket. If you're in a lower income bracket, then you are going to pay taxes now. Typically, the lower income bracket is 10, 12%, maybe 15%. You are in the lower income bracket. So the theory would be that now you're paying taxes. You're going to put that money in a Roth IRA. It's going to grow to whatever it grows to. And the IRS cannot touch that anymore because you've already paid taxes on it. Because what you're betting on is that in later years, you're going to be in a higher tax bracket. And when you get in a higher tax bracket, then you want to put money into things that are tax deferred, meaning that you're not going to pay tax before you invest in those things. So when you're in a lower tax bracket, you want to invest in things with after-tax money because your tax rate is going to be lower, and because you're assuming that you're going to get into a higher tax bracket in your higher income years, and at that time you can defer those taxes. When you're deferring the taxes, basically you're saying, when I retire, I'm going to be back in a lower tax bracket, so I'm going to not pay taxes on my higher income right now, because when I retire, I'll be in a lower tax bracket. And instead of me paying 22%, 30% now on my income, I'm going to be back in the lower income bracket. I'm going to be maybe in the 10, 12%, depending. I don't know what they're going to do years from now when you retire. But, you're assuming that's your bet. You're betting that you're going to be in the lower bracket. So if your income is low right now, invest in a Roth IRA. Okay. Because now you're saying, again, I'm going to make more money later. And at that time, I'm not going to pay tax before I invest. Let them take tax at the end after I retire and start putting my money. Okay. And Asian American is saying here, open a 401k and Roth IRA as soon as possible. Yes, as soon as possible. You cannot. Compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world. You cannot do not underestimate the power of compounding interest. If you put in $10 now and you put in maybe $10 per week out of your paycheck, that money as a young person, gosh, do I wish I knew this when I was younger? Do I ever wish I knew this when I was younger? If you put that money in as a young person now, and anybody who's listening to me right now, if you're a parent, encourage your kids. Put that money in, $10. Get into the habit of saving that money into, not even talking about these piddly little 2.2%, 0.1% savings account. I'm talking about like a 401k, a Roth IRA. Put your money in that, okay? Now, they do have Roth 401ks also. Check with your company and see what kind of investments they have that you can, what kind of vehicles they have that you can invest in that you, as a low-income earner, can put in after-tax dollars. If you put in, for those of you who have company matches, and you are not doing your 401k, stick out your hand so I can slap you. Stick your hand out so I can slap you. Why are we giving up free money? That's free money. If the company puts in 3% and you put in 3% up to the match, that's 6% you've invested. And 3% of it you didn't put in out of your own pocket. So if your company gives you a match, try to match at least, put in at least up to that company match, because then you're getting free money. Who don't like free? Okay. So you're getting free money. So go ahead and do that. Put your money in as soon as possible, because the compound effect of interest don't overlook that. Don't overlook the power of that. There are people who have put in maybe like $20 per week when they were much younger, and they're millionaires now. Because if you look at the average return of the stock market over the years, it's averaging maybe 7-8%. You cannot beat that. Yes, there have been downs and ups, but overall, you cannot beat that return. So put that money in so it can grow. And then if you put it in as a Roth IRA, this is the beauty of the Roth IRA. If you put that money in, if you put 1,000 in and it grows to 2,000, when you remove that money, when you withdraw that money, you can say to the IRS, nay, because you don't have to pay any interest on it. I mean, you don't have to pay any taxes on it, on that money. So when you put a Roth IRA in, you've already paid the taxes. So that money grows to whatever you want it to grow to, and you can take all of that money out. Now, there's some caveats and some other things which I won't get into. I have a video on Roth IRA. You can go ahead and look at it. It has a little bit more detail. But basically, you put money in a Roth IRA after taxes, that money grows. You take it out, and you don't have to worry about Uncle Sam coming after you. Okay? All right. So the other question that somebody asked was about student loans. And I have about 5 videos on student loans on this channel. In fact, I just did a video on the Biden plan for student loans and who who has gotten student loan forgiveness with the plans that the American Rescue Plan and all the other ones that he just signed, and the things that they're thinking about putting into law. So somebody asked me about student loans. One of the things you want to do with student loans, I always tell people, if you can, keep your student loans on the federal. If you don't have a lot of money for student loans, maybe you want to, and if you know you're going to be paying off real soon, then maybe you might want to think about refinancing with a private company at a lower rate if you don't have a lot more. Because one of the reasons why I encourage people to keep their student loans with the federal government is because you get a lot of breaks with the federal government with student loans. Like right now, when did it start? Last year, March or something, is when they started and they deferred your payment of student loans. For those people who lost their job, that's a breathing room. They didn't have to stress about paying back that loan right now. You know you have to pay it, but they didn't have to stress about it. For those people who have federal student loans, well, there are certain types. There's some that don't qualify, which I'm not going to get into that, but there are a few that don't qualify for the student loan, for the break that you're getting from student loans. So right now, you don't have to pay the student loan. You can get a chance to kind of breathe. Maybe go do Uber or something to try to make a little extra money to be able to get back on your feet financially while you figure out in September, when that comes back, when you have to start paying student loans again, you've had a little bit of breather. You've had a year plus of a breather to try to figure out how you're going to pay your student loans. And then there are also I saw a question popped up and it kind of lost my train of thought. For the student loans, there are also different loan forgiveness programs with the student loan program. If you have a student loan with a private person, a private bank, then you don't have those concessions, because right now, everything that's going, the price, they want their money. They don't care. They don't care what President Trump did, and they don't care what President Biden is doing right now. They want their money. Federal government, you do get that breathing room. All right. Nadia is asking, she said, any info on incorporating as a 501c3 when starting a business. That is not my lane, but I will write that down as something to bring someone in, bring someone on to talk about 501c3 incorporation, because that's not my lane. What I do know is that you do have several business types that you can consider. And you really want to talk with a tax person to find out which one serves you best and which one will best protect your assets based on the type of whether LLC, C Corp, S Corp, because you can be an LLC and file as a sole proprietor. You can be an LLC as and file as an S corp. You can, there are all kinds of ways and combinations of business, a way you can set up your business. But when it comes to 501c3, which is a nonprofit, for those of you who are listening, that's setting up a nonprofit. There are different rules for the 501c3 than for the for-profit companies. And again, that's not my lane, but I will definitely bring someone on. Thank you for bringing that, asking me that question, Nardia. I'll bring someone on to talk about setting up 501c3s and some of the things that you can consider. I do know that one thing I do know is that you have to file a what they call an information report on the 501c3s. You have to file that, and if you have not filed for a number of years, you lose your 501c3 status. I do know that because I had to research that for somebody. All right, so are there any more questions in the chat? Try to see if there are any more questions. And again, for those of you who are watching me on Facebook, I kind of shared my preference for you to go over on YouTube and watch me there. And the reason I do that, I want you to watch me on YouTube, is because when you watch me on YouTube, again, YouTube realizes that there's engagement with the content, and YouTube will push that out so more people can watch it. Because again, YouTube's sole purpose is to make money. And the way they make money is have ads on their platform. And in order for them to have ads on their platform, they have to have lots of eyes on their platform. So when YouTube sees that there are some eyes on this channel, it will push it out more so you can get more eyes on the content and bring in more revenue, because YouTube want to get paid. Okay. All right, let's see. Any other questions? And let me check again to see if I have other questions that someone asked that's not here. I don't see any questions. And again, let me share the YouTube link for those of you who are still on Facebook. I'm going to share the YouTube link again. Here's the YouTube link. You can click that and join me over on YouTube, because again, I prefer for you to be there and subscribe to the channel over there if you can. And for those of you, if somebody wants to come on, if you want to join me on stage, I'm giving you the opportunity to do that. I'm going to share the StreamYard link again, and you just click on it, and I will bring you on stage if you would like to do that. And again, this is a little bit different from my normal YouTube Sunday afternoon my normal Sunday afternoon broadcast. This is a little bit different, this format. I usually have a very structured topic that I want to cover, because again, this channel is about education, and I want to make sure that I'm sharing that information. Let's see. All right, some of the things I want you to learn about YouTube while I'm waiting for if somebody has a question that they would like to ask. The reason that sometimes you watch a YouTube channel and people ask you to subscribe is, again, because they want to grow the channel, and because the more they grow is the more engagement they have on the channel. So when somebody asks you to subscribe, That's the reason for doing that. Even if you see a person put out a video and it like maybe 15-minute long, that video probably took them eight hours. Okay, so I want to educate people on how this YouTube world works, because a lot of people, I see them thumbing down video and they have these nasty comments, they have trolls on there, and they don't know the work that people put in for these videos. Just because somebody come on here and they have a 15-minute video, they have to research, they have to put it together, then they have to do their edits, they have to do all the B-rolls and all these fancy stuff that you see go into videos. That takes hours to do, okay? And that's one of the reasons why I mostly do lives, because when I do lives, even if I mess up and forget the word I'm trying to use, I just put it out there because it's what it is, okay? It is what it is. That's why I mostly do that, because I don't have the time to do edits. But that's one of the reasons why people, why you don't want to thumbs down people's videos, because they put a lot of work and sweat in their videos if you're not in the YouTube community and if you are not creating videos. So please, when you see a video, please support the creator by thumbing up that video, because even if you thumbs it down, YouTube doesn't know the difference. YouTube thinks of it as engagement, but it looks better when you have the thumbs up. With that said, I want to encourage you right now, because I don't see any questions, so I want to encourage you right now to like the video. If you haven't already, you see that little thumbs up right there? Like the video if you haven't already. I want you to come back after this video is released and comment under it, because if you put in a chat, it's not really showing up under the video. The chat kind of goes away. It's still there, but it's not registered under the video. So if you can come back about 5 minutes after the video is released and comment on the video, I would appreciate it. But again, like the video, comment, subscribe if you haven't. If you see a red button right there, that means you haven't subscribed. I don't see any more questions, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And again, this was just a celebration of you guys, your support of me, because I can't do this without you. I would be just here talking to the air. And even if you don't come when it's live, you show up afterwards, and I really, really appreciate it. So again, this is a celebration of you, celebration of me. I'm trying to sing. I'm celebrating you. I'm celebrating me. So thank you so much for showing up this afternoon. I'm going to check the comments one more time. And again, this is not the typical video, okay? So please come back again when I'm going to be sharing more, in a little bit more structured way. But this is more free fall video, because I really am excited about you guys, your support of me. I really, really appreciate it, because you do not have to do that, okay? And so I appreciate you. I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. And I am going to see you guys. I'm going to be posting. I'll be off from lives. I won't be doing lives for about 4 weeks, because I am going to be studying for the accredited financial counselor certification, so I can better serve you. And I am also going to be taking a rest from Sunday afternoon lives, but I will be posting videos during the live time. So I'll be posting short videos at 4:30 p.m. on Sunday afternoons, and I will also be posting my shorts on Wednesdays, so you can check those out. And if you want to, you can check the library of videos that's on my YouTube channel. Please go check those out. Leave me a comment, leave me a question. If there's something that I have not addressed in my videos and that you'd like to have that addressed, please let me know. If it's not in my field of expertise, my sphere, then I am going to bring somebody in. Like the 501c3, that's not my ballywalks. So I'm going to bring someone in for that. So look forward to the next few Sundays. I'm going to have somebody come in to talk about index funds. I'm going to have someone come in to share her debt-free journey. And I'm also going to have there's somebody else who's supposed to be coming in. Don't remember what the topic is right now, but look forward to some exciting topics when we resume in June. Thank you, and have a wonderful afternoon, and God bless you.